Sometimes our habits can be in a mix up. Most days you're consistent with yourself with the habits you build, the tasks that you put on yourself, and the mindset of growth that pulls you towards being great. These are all great things, but I want you to answer this question honestly. When you enter a certain room, do you see your mood and habits instantly change? Most likely, you've probably said yes. Deeper reason behind it. A deeper reason. Most times we're disciplined, right? But in certain environments, in certain places, they can either build habits on top of that or can change how it works for you. Like, for example, when you walk into a room, let's just say, for example, your room, and your room promotes more of the setting of being comfortable, it's gonna be hard trying to do work there when you know you're gonna end up being comfortable. Your environment controls you more than you think. Let me explain why. Your environment plays a crucial role in how you operate. It makes you think certain thoughts that influence your habits and choices that you make, which can make you who you are as a person, which can make you who you are. Every specific one plays a role in how you function no matter what. You might associate rest and sleep with your room, or associate deep work in an office room with minimal distractions. Each room you enter constrains you of what you can do. It can force habits to get out and be done naturally, or even without your input. This can lead you into the wrong habits when you're trying to get things done in the wrong place. What this means is it creates habits that you don't need when you need to actually focus on what you need to work on. Like, for example, if you were to focus on working out, you wouldn't start doing it in a library now because that isn't a good setting, a good place for you to. The library is supposed to be for you to focus, not work out. So, when you have tasks, ensure that your environment supports that, as that can lead you to getting things done more quicker with better accuracy, by the way, full focus on what you need to do, and a low chance of procrastinating on your tasks. As it's very easy for us to not do our tasks when the environment we're in does not promote these habits whatsoever, where it does not promote it at all. And that can lead you to you building a habit in which you may not want to have in the first place. One thing that I do have to say is that although each environment comes in its own setting, there's one where you can manipulate it to your advantage anytime to support you and to win the day before it even starts. That environment that you can manipulate, that you can change for you to be better, probably one that you're in right now, which is your room. Now, the reason why I say your room is because when I say in general about an environment change your habits, that is true for all places, but it all comes down into what you do in the morning, as that can lead you into certain areas where you might stay comfortable, there's no in between. And that's why your room is the most crucial environment to be in, as that's where you mostly rest, and that's where you get up to start the day. And when you get up to start the day, however it goes, it will determine if you have a good day or not, just based on your habits during that time. If you're someone who frequently has days where you're rushing or your mind might not be in the right headspace, that will mostly lead to your mind is distracting. It can make you fixated on comfort rather than just focused for the entire day. I know most of you probably struggle in the morning as you may find it hard to even get up because you may still feel tired or you may want to stay in bed minutes. And I do understand that. Sometimes there's days where we just don't want to get up, but understand that whatever you do in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. And if you don't set up your room, your environment into you being better, that's gonna create a domino effect where you're gonna start choosing places that are more comfortable, which can lead you into building bad habits. There are small ways to make your room and to build the habits that you genuinely need. And that all comes down to what's in your room the second you wake up. To improve your day, you need to set up your room for your habits. And I genuinely mean this. Let me explain. Let's say, for example, you wake up. Wherever you and what you have around you, everything you have next to you makes what you are for the day. As that can either lead you into starting with a good habit or starting with a bad habit, which can direct how your day is going to be. Now, and without having those proper things nearby for us to see, for our mind to process, moving in a habit entirely, genuinely. Like for me, if I don't have a book right next to me, right, I'm not gonna read. If I don't have my glasses next to me, I'm not gonna think about it to put them on. If I don't have my, I'm not even gonna pay attention to my phone. Whatever I wake up and whatever I see, that is the habit that's gonna make me. And let's say if I want to build the habit of reading every morning, right? If I don't have my book right next to me, my mind's not noticing that book, so it's never gonna think of reading in the first place. But when my mind does see that book, it's gonna think, maybe you should read 5 pages of the book, and that gets me to read. I feel as if that is something that can genuinely help you improve. So to properly build your environment and make your morning a success, you need to set up cues that will force you into the habit you want to achieve. I'm gonna be honest with this. When you wake up, most times we want to stay comfortable in beds, but to remove that feeling, to remove that procrastination, that's where cues change how you work. That's where cues come in. Cues are moments where it forces you to focus on doing a habit without you even having an input on. The mind uses cues every day for without you even thinking about doing them in the first place. Because the mind has already adjusted itself to it. The mind automatically integrates what you need to do with a task that has been done with for so long. Now, knowing this, knowing that you can do habits, random habits is based off where you're at right now. What if you can automate the habit you want to build to automatically do it without even forcing yourself to do it? I want you to think about it for a sec. Pause the video because I do want you to think about that. The most effective way to do this is to pair up a habit you already do daily and use it as a cue, a reminder, to proceed to the next habit. This is called habit stacking. You might have heard this before, but generally, habit stacking does play a crucial role in you building new habits. It's the most effective to do as you're just building upon habits you have built yourself to further get more and more things at the wheel here. This can lead to a domino effect of you starting your day simple with maybe 1 to 2 tasks to you completing multiple tasks that once felt impossible to do during the day. So here are some examples on screen for you to follow here. For these examples, you see that I kind of put the bare minimum of the habit in, and that's because for you to start building a habit, the habit must not take too long. You should always start with the easiest version of the new habit you're trying to build. That's because if we try to be perfect with our habits, like studying for 1 full hour for a topic you just learned, while that may be good at the moment, it will be hard to gradually build upon it as you will feel burnt out doing it over time. Because yeah, maybe the first couple of days, first 3 days of you studying for an hour may feel good, but when you have a day where you're motivated to do it, you're not gonna want to do it no more, and that's something you never want to feel. Once you reinforce that small habit into your mind, over time, the mind is gonna naturally want to do better on it. And wants to do better on it, that's when you improve it. And after all I've said, you might be wondering how it may be to start this habit. Now, when you're starting to get used to this habit of habit stack itself, it will be hard to stick to it at first. It may be hard to naturally try to build good habits because maybe most days we may not have the same cues. But connecting a habit you already have with it can generally do wonders for you because you're not resetting your habits. You're not forcing yourself into a strict routine straight off the bat. You're just making your current habit as a cue to do the habit you want to build. You're not reinventing the wheel here. You're not resetting your habits. Resetting your habits can expose you to habits that you may not want in the first place. So connecting an existing habit allows you to stay with the habits you're used to, and it can always allow you to make small adjustments, which are not hard to do at all. And then once you do all those adjustments, you'll build a habit as easy as just counting 1, 2, 3. Now that's all that I have that we needed to. Start habit stacking to grow into new habits and ensure that you're consistent with these habits, even if it may not be perfect. Even if it's just building one habit from habit stacking can change your entire day, especially in the morning, which is worth it in the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you, my friend, in the next one. Peace.